Hello, everybody, and I'm here with you today to give my live reactions again to the Oscar shortlists. Now, I did this last year, and just like last year, I did take the time to compile a list of predictions, and I was going to make a video yesterday talking about those predictions, but I ultimately ran out of time. This year has been tricky for me in the time department. I'm a lot busier than I was this time last year with other things. I think I've talked before about how I do a lot of work in community theater, and this year I am about to direct a play for the very first time, which is very exciting and very nerve-wracking at the same time. But that gives me a bit less time than I would like to work on these types of videos, and also a lot less time to watch screeners. I have quite a few screeners for big movies that I have not seen yet, and that would really help inform my Oscar predictions. So you might not get as many videos for a while, but I'll try to cover the big events like this one. And this is a very, very big event. The Oscar shortlists, they can certainly be very helpful in terms of narrowing down what choices are going to be made. And for a while, I felt that they made the predicting a bit less fun because you know what movies are in contention and there's a smaller net. At the same time, though, it does actually potentially open opportunities for some movies. If a movie gets shortlisted that is off the beaten path, not what you would expect to show up, then that actually really, really boosts that movie's chances because it's going to stand out in when they eventually do the bake-offs and they watch all of the films that are contending. If something really stands out, that only helps its chances. So it's not unheard of for a movie to surprise in the shortlist phase and then get nominated at the Oscars. So, with that said, when we have some new categories that are being shortlisted this year, including the new category of casting as well as cinematography. So, without any further delay, let's get to it. Oh, animated short film. Okay, so 15 shorts that I do not know. We have Autocar, Butterfly, Cardboard, Iru, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Hurricane, I Died in Irpin, The Night Boots, Playing God, The Quinta's Ghost, Retirement Plan, The Shyness of Trees, Snow Bear, and The Three Sisters. Now, I have heard of one of these, Iru, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that one is from Cartoon Saloon, and I believe it played in front of Little Amelie in theaters. So that is the one I'm immediately looking at for the potential win. Okay, Best Casting. Now, out of all the categories, this is the one I'm the most nervous about, because the shortlist that I predicted is mostly movies that are in the conversation for Best Picture. But there is no precedent for this category, so they could go completely off the wall and go for movies like Superman or The Phoenician Scheme. They could just do whatever they want in this category, or they could stick with Best Picture. I don't know. Let's see what they did. The films are Frankenstein, yes. Hamnet, yes. Marty Supreme, yes. One Battle After Another, yes. I'm matching so far. The Secret Agent, yeah. No, I did not have The Secret Agent. Sentimental Value, Sinners, Sirât, Weapons, and Wicked for Good. Is that 10? Okay, that's 10. So I had a lot of those. Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value. I had Jay Kelly, and I had Train Dreams. And they swapped those out with The Secret Agent and Sirât. So they already big international vibes is what they're going for, which is interesting. Exciting that the fact that Wicked is here means that they're considering the first film as well, so that could get in. But big showing, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sirât, already 3 of the 4 Neon International titles. No, technically, wait. Secret Agent, Sentimental Values, Sirât, it was just an accident, no other choices there. But, still, big showing for Neon, and I have a feeling that this is not going to be the last category for that. So next up, Best Cinematography. 16 films? 16 films. That is insane. I predicted 10. Okay, if this does not align with what I had in the top 10, The Ballad of a Small Player. That's one I think most people were writing off as a contender, but apparently the cinematography in that is good. Begonia, Die My Love, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Nouvelle Vague, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Sirât, again, Song Sung Blue, Sound of Falling, Train Dreams, and Wicked for Good. See, I did have a feeling that Wicked for Good would be there. So it looks like I'm looking at my top 15 now. The only one that I think missed, J. Kelly missed. Missed this in casting. I think I need to put any notion of that film being a Best Picture contender to bed. I think after it missed at the Globes and now the misses it's getting here, I don't think it's contending. Nouveau Vague is here. No Other Choice. No Other Choice missing again. They loved Sirât more than No Other Choice, apparently. So, is No Other Choice still in the conversation for picture? I don't know. This is a bad look for that movie. I'm sorry, Park Chan-wook. Yeah, F1's here, Frankenstein's here. I think most of what I predicted is here. If I look at the top 16, the 5 movies that I had in my top 16, the 15 plus the alternate, are No Other Choice, J. Kelly, Testament of Anne Lee, It Was Just an Accident, and 28 Years Later. And Testament of Anne Lee, again, big miss for that movie. That movie is falling. But the movies that did get in that I did not consider, Ballad of a Small Player, Die My Love, Sirât, Song Sung Blue, surprise love for that movie out of nowhere, and Sound of Falling, which is another Neon movie. Neon is just showing up everywhere. Neon's going to be the only thing that gets any nominations this year. It's going to be insane. Okay, next up is documentary feature film. And the shortlisted contenders are The Alabama Solution. Nice, glad that that's there. Apocalypse in the Tropics. I had that one just missing. Coexistence, my ass. I left that one out. Should have kept it in because of the memorable title. Come See Me in the Good Light. Yes, that's in. Cover Up, yes. Cutting Through Rocks. I left that one out. Folk Tales. Left it out. Holding Liat. Left it out. Mr. Nobody Against Putin. That's there. Mistress Dispeller. Not there. My Undesirable Friends. I did have that one, yes. Perfect Neighbor. Perfect Neighbor is here. Okay, very good sign for that movie. Scenes, 2,000 Miles to Andriivka. I had both of those. And Yanuni, which I did not have. I do not know what that one is. So, I just added them all up, and I got 8 of the 15 contenders, so about half. Not great, but the documentary branch really does do its own thing. And some of the movies I predicted that were left off were Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk, The Tale of Silion, Deaf President Now, Orwell 2 + 2 = 5, Riefenstahl, Predators, and The Librarians. All documentaries that were reasonably in the conversation. Put Your Soul on Your Hand and Walk is one that I was starting to feel could get enough attention to be nominated. That one's not here. Tale of Silion, also hearing a lot about that. Orwell is interesting because I was debating if I should predict that. That does seem like the populist doc that gets left out. A lot of precursors have been going for that one, but it's not getting in. And then Deaf President Now is a really interesting example because I thought that wouldn't be eligible because it was nominated for an Emmy, but apparently because it didn't win, it is eligible. It's a weird system and it's not going to be allowed to compete now because it didn't make the shortlist. But they did really go their own way with this, and I'm very curious to see what the final nominees are. I'm happy that The Perfect Neighbor is here, and I don't know if there's a ton of other documentaries that can really contend with that. So I'm still considering The Perfect Neighbor to be the frontrunner. And the next category is documentary short film. I obviously do not know what any of these are. All the Empty Rooms, All the Walls Came Down, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Bad Hostage, Cashing Out, Chasing Time, Children No More, Were and Are Gone, Classroom 4, The Devil is Busy, Heartbeat, Last Days on Lake Trinity, On Healing Land, Bird's Perch, Perfectly a Strangeness, Ravina's Choice, and We Were the Scenery. So, I do not recognize any of these titles, which is weird because I was keeping track of the shorts that were getting in at some of the regional documentary awards. So I'm going to check after the fact to see which of these were nominated there. If any of them were, that is a good sign for them. But unfortunately, I am not familiar with these titles at all. International feature film. Okay, I am going to be familiar with these titles, hopefully. Let's see how many Neon films get in. So I believe this is alphabetical order by country. Yes. So we have from Argentina, Belen. Yes. We have from Brazil, The Secret Agent. Yes. From France, It Was Just an Accident. Yes. From Germany, Sound of Falling, yes. From India, Homebound, no. India does not get in that often, so I didn't have them in for this one. From Iraq, The President's Cake, yes. From Japan, Kohuku, I had that one missing, but I've heard good things about that. From Jordan, All That's Left of You, also had that one missing. Norway, Sentimental Value, yes, obviously. Palestine, Palestine 36, yes. South Korea, No Other Choice, yes. Spain, Sirât, yes, getting all of the neons here. From Switzerland, Late Shift, yes. From Taiwan, Left-Handed Girl, yes. And from Tunisia, The Voice of Hind Rajab, yes. So I got 12 out of 15, which is really not bad. The three that I did have were 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, My Father's Shadow, and Happy Birthday, which was a little bit of a wild card choice. But the surprises are Homebound, Kohuku, and All That's Left of You. So nothing hugely shocking in this category. It would have been a big deal if one of the big neon contenders missed. But nope, everything seems to be mostly the way we expected them. Live action short film. Do I recognize any of these titles? Adieu, Amarilla, Beyond Silence, The Boy with White Skin, Butcher's Stain, Butterfly on a Wheel, Dad's Not Home, Extremist, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, Pantyhose, The Pearl Comb, Rock, Paper, Scissors, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Okay, that last one I think is going to get nominated because of the title. Always look for the one with a fun title. Again, nothing much to say about that. Makeup and hairstyling. Okay, I scrolled down just far enough to see the first title, and I am very, very much taken aback because that is not a title I was considering at all. We have The Alto Knights, Frankenstein, Kohuko, Marty Supreme, Nuremberg, One Battle After Another, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, The Ugly Stepsister, and Wicked for Good. Okay, wow. I'm gonna have to double check it, but no Weapons, no Wolfman, no 28 Years Later. The horror movies that we thought would contend are not here, and The Ugly Stepsister shows up instead, something that really no one was considering. And, okay, Kohuku, but Nuremberg? The Alto Knights? Hold on, let me just tally this up. So I tallied it up, and I went 5 for 10 of my predictions. I had Frankenstein, Wicked, Sinners, Smashing Machine, and One Battle. The ones that I had that missed were 28 Years Later, Weapons, Hamnet, Wolfman, and Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Alto Knights, Nuremberg, Ugly Stepsister, Kohuku, Marty Supreme. I mean, at least that one's in Best Picture, but the rest of them, they chose violence. They really, really, really went out of their way with this one. And, it's crazy. So, I think the big side point is a lot of people were thinking that Weapons was going to get nominated for makeup and that nomination would help Amy Madigan's chances. Now it can't get that nomination. And as someone who never fully bought into the Amy Madigan train, I am sort of going to use this as some counter evidence to her campaign. I do think this hurts her. I really do. I don't know what Weapons can get now if it's just going to be a lone nomination for her. I mean, I guess Screenplay's on the table, but yeah, we'll see if it makes any other shortlists after this. Best Original Score. Now, before I even look at this category, I just gotta say, why 20? Why 20? It used to be 15, and that was totally manageable. 20... See, I do this thing where I make a playlist out of all the tracks from the nominated scores, and I listen to it all in a shuffle mode, and I do this game where I see if I can guess which movie this track is from without looking. And that game is a lot harder, let me tell you, when it's 20 scores instead of 15. But I have a solid top 20 here, so let's see how off the beaten path they go. And if something big is missing, then you know that's a problem. So we have Avatar, Fire and Ash. Wow, did not think they were going to go for Avatar in score, but I guess they have a lot of extra room. Begonia, yes, I had that. Captain America, Brave New World? Really? You went for the Marvel movie that came out at the beginning of the year that no one liked? Really? Diane Warren? You nominated Diane Warren Relentless for score? Jeez, I think the music branch just really loves Diane Warren that they'll even nominate the score. Diane didn't do the score for the movie, did she? I don't think she did. Somebody else did the score, but the music branch just saw Diane's Warren name. That's how desperate they are to nominate her. Okay, F1, yes. Frankenstein, yes. Hamnet, yes. Hedda, yes. House of Dynamite. So, I'm sorry. House of Dynamite gets made into the shortlist for just reusing the music from Conclave? Really? J. Kelly, finally that movie gets in somewhere. Marty Supreme, yes, I had that one. Nuremberg, I did not have that one. Nuremberg is doing better than a lot of people had anticipated. One Battle After Another, yes. Sinners, obviously. Sirât, I did have that one in the shortlist. Train Dreams, I also had that one in the shortlist. Tron Ares. Now, see, I did have that one, but I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that Nine Inch Nails are contending. They've gotten nominated at a few precursors, I've noticed, even though the movie is not well liked. Truth and Treason. Whoa, that one came out of nowhere. Who did the score for that film? Probably someone famous that I don't know right now. And then the last one is Wake Up Dead Man. Oh, Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good does make it. I did see that score was eligible. Now I have to see what missed. Okay, so I added it up. I got 13 out of 20. And the most notable miss of the movies that missed is The Testament of Anne Lee. That is a very, very worrying sign for an original movie musical done by the same composer that won original score last year. For that movie to miss the top 20 for score, I feel like that movie's dead. It's dead in Best Picture. It might even be dead in Actress, for all we know. We'll see if it gets into Song, but that is the official nail in the coffin for that movie. The other miss that surprises me is Fantastic Four. I thought that was going to get into score. They nominate Captain America instead. Yeah, some of the other movies that I had were Sentimental Value, Life of Chuck, The Lost Bus, Weapons, and No Other Choice. Weapons missed here. It got into something. I think it got into cinematography, but it missed this. And again, is that movie weaker than we thought? We don't know. But crazy, crazy stuff. The Diane Warren thing is just insane. The music branch loves her even though she didn't write it. Next up is Best Original Song. Okay, let's see which 15 tracks made it. So alphabetical order by film title. As Alive as You Need Me to Be from Tron Ares. Wow, okay, respectable shout out to Tron Ares there. I think that movie showed up a few places. Dear Me from Diane Warren, obviously. Dream as One from Avatar, I had that one too. Drive from F1. Dying to Live from Billy Idol Should Be Dead, I did not have that one. Girl in the Bubble from Wicked. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. So they're doing it by song title, not film title. Highest to Lowest from Highest to Lowest. I Lied to You from Sinners. Last Time I Seen the Sun from Sinners. No Place Like Home from Wicked. Our Love from The Ballad of Wallace Island. Salt Then Sour Then Sweet from Come See Me in the Good Light. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. What? Who wrote that song? I have no idea. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams. Holy shit. The Testament of Anne Lee misses in song. By Amanda Seyfried. You're not getting nominated. If it can't make the top 15 for song, then the Academy really, really does not like that movie. I mean, just wow. So I had Anne Lee. I had Lose My Mind, the other song from F1. I had Materialists, and I had Zootopia 2. And so I went 11 for 15. Pretty good. Very much surprised by the Tron Ares song, the Dying to Live from Billy Idol Should Be Dead, Our Love from Ballad of Wallace Island, Sweet Dreams of Joy. Those songs, I think especially that last one, really did come out of nowhere. But I do think the top 5 feels pretty secure because we've gotten both the Golden Globe and Critics' Choice nominations, and they nominated Golden, I Lied to You, Train Dreams, and Girl in the Bubble. I think keep those 4 and add Diane Warren, and that's your top 5. Clothed by the Sun, I was thinking was the only one that could realistically make a play for that last slot, and now it's just not in the conversation anymore. So I think that's done. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, Netflix only submitted one song from K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is why none of the other songs from that movie are here. And next up, we have Best Sound. So what got into this category? We have Avatar, Fire and Ash. Okay, makes sense. F1, yes. Frankenstein, yes, got that. Mission Impossible. Ugh. I thought they might go for Mission Impossible, but I didn't want to pull the trigger there. One Battle, of course. Sinners, yes. Sirât. I did actually have that one. Springsteen. Really? Really? You still remember Springsteen? I thought that movie was completely forgotten about, but it got into this category. Superman. Okay, that's a fun surprise. And Wicked for Good. So I believe I went 7 for 10. I missed Mission Impossible, Springsteen, and Superman. I had Marty Supreme, I had Warfare, and I had K-pop Demon Hunters, which I think were understandable suggestions, but it does look like they went their own way with this. Man, the Springsteen nomination is crazy. Is that movie more competitive than we thought? Man, I mean, I wonder if they could go for something like Tron Ares or The Lost Bus, but, I mean, Tron has done well in other categories, so it could have gotten in here. And that brings us to the final category we are going to be taking a look at, and that is Best Visual Effects. Now, they already announced a short list of 20, and that's going to be narrowed down to 10. So I know Sketch is not going to be here, but I'm curious, and I just want to say I'm sticking my neck out for Predator Badlands. I think that's going to take up one of the 10 slots. So we have Avatar, The Electric Slate. It's the electric. Is it Slate or State? I can't even tell. No one knows what that movie is called because that was just a Netflix bomb that came out at the beginning of the year that everybody should completely ignored. That's here. I cannot believe it. I had that as my last place selection to be nominated. I cannot believe that's here. F1, of course, Frankenstein, yes. Jurassic World, really? Really, I mean, a movie that did not get the best reviews, but that's here. The Lost Bus, ooh, that I did not have that one in either. Sinners, Superman, I have both of those in. Tron Ares, yes, and Wicked for Good makes it. I was thinking Wicked was going to miss, honestly. I thought this would be the category where it would be vulnerable, but Wicked has shown up surprisingly in a number of categories, which is more than can be said for some films. So, Fantastic Four missed. Fantastic Four missed this category. Actually, there's no Marvel, because I thought Thunderbolts would make it in too. So, no Fantastic Four, no Thunderbolts, no How to Train Your Dragon, which I thought would be there, and no Predator Badlands. So, the four that I did not see coming were The Electric Slate, Jurassic World, The Lost Bus, and Wicked for Good. Man, I do not know what to do with this category now. I mean, I just have no idea what the top 5 is I'm going to predict. This was crazy. This was really, really crazy. I think I did pretty good on my predictions, but they really, really threw us for some curveballs, and it's going to take a long time for me to fully process all of those. I want to do a video at some point further down the line breaking down the critics' precursors and seeing where we currently stand on how everything's winning, but this was a very, very, very bad day for the Testament of Ann Lee. And a good day for Sirât. I think that picked up a number of things. A pretty good day for Wicked for Good. I think it got in a few more places than I was expecting. And yeah, Frankenstein showed up everywhere. Sinners, One Battle, they showed up everywhere. Best makeup, man, that category was crazy. I'm definitely going to have to rethink a lot of my predictions pretty seriously after this. So, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.